Let's cut the crap. If it walks like a fascist, talks like a fascist, and wants to dismantle democracy like a fascist, it's probably Donald Trump. Seriously, we're still pretending this is just regular political squabbling? Are we really going to sit here and act like the constant barrage of authoritarian red flags is just normal? Wake up. This isn't about left versus right anymore. This is about democracy versus dictatorship. And it's not even funny. Think about it. The man has cultivated a full-blown cult of personality. They wear his name, face, and logo on hats, clothes, bumper stickers, flags, tattoos. The list goes on. Trump could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue, according to him, and his followers would say that the gun was possessed by Hillary's emails and Joe Biden was the one who pulled the trigger. The level of blind, unwavering devotion is genuinely terrifying. It's like North Korea if Kim Jong-un was orange and loved to rage tweet. This isn't healthy. This isn't how a functioning republic operates. It's the breeding ground for absolute corruption and power. And then there's his relentless assault on the free press. Fake news, the enemy of the people. You've heard the screeching, right? Every dictator in history has understood that a free press and an independent press is a threat to their control. Trump says fake news. Hitler said der Lügenpresse, the lying press. These dictators need propaganda. They need to control the narrative. And MAGA, they eat it up like it's the gospel. He's not just criticizing the media, he's actively trying to delegitimize any source of information that doesn't sing his praises. Sound familiar? It should. But it doesn't stop there, does it? Every fascist regime needs a scapegoat, right? Groups to demonize, to blame for society's ills. Immigrants are rapists. Muslims are terrorists. LGBTQ plus people are a threat to traditional values. Sound familiar? This isn't accidental. It's a deliberate strategy to divide and conquer, to rally his base against perceived enemies. This playbook isn't some new invention. It's ripped straight from the darkest chapters of human history. And the hypocrisy is just stunning. Stunning. He screams law and order while breaking every law he can find and pardoning his criminal friends. It's not about justice. It's about power. It's about using the machinery of the state to punish his enemies and protect his allies. This isn't law and order. It's authoritarianism dressed up in a cheap suit. Now pay attention because this is crucial. When Trump questions elections, he's not just throwing tantrums. He's laying the groundwork for a lifetime dictatorship. He's eroding faith in the very foundation of our democracy. Well, he's already been president twice, so it doesn't matter, right? Well, if you've been paying attention, you'd know Trump is already talking about staying in office, and he is even selling or was selling a Trump 2028 hat. Do what you will with that information. Fascism doesn't arrive with jackboots and tanks overnight. Sometimes it arrives with lawsuits, misinformation spread by their right-wing propaganda arm, we call it Fox News in this case, and conspiracy theories, slowly chipping away at our institutions until they crumble. He tried to overturn a legitimate election, remember? Let that sink in. And the glorification of violence. Remember Charlottesville? Very fine people on both sides. He told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. That's not a gaffe. That was clearly an order. He incites violence and then he pretends to be surprised when it happens. How is this not a disqualifier for anyone who claims to believe in democracy? Oh, and let's not forget the good old-fashioned corruption and cronyism. Drain the swamp, he said? He didn't drain the swamp. He stocked it with snakes and gators and MAGA hats. No offense to real snakes and alligators. Jared Kushner getting billions from Saudi Arabia? Ivanka's suspiciously timed trademarks in China. A $400 million airplane gift? A multi-billion-dollar Saudi-based Trump golf course? You think this is normal? This isn't public service, it's a grift on an unprecedented scale. Trump is literally the most corrupt man in history, and the utter disdain for basic human rights? Separating children at the border from their parents, rolling back LGBTQ plus rights, kicking trans people from the military and taking away their medications. That's not just conservative policy, that's cruelty. Remember when he used tear gas on peaceful protesters so he could have a photo op with a Bible? The sheer absurdity and the chilling authoritarianism of that moment should have been a wake-up call for everyone. Militarizing civil life for a photo op? That's not strength. That's a desperate attempt to protect an image of control. But perhaps the most terrifying aspect of all is his complete disrespect for democratic norms and the peaceful transfer of power. This is the one that nearly broke it all. He lost the election decisively, and then he tried to steal the presidency away. He peddled lies, he incited an insurrection, pardoned the traitors who attacked our capital and tried to overthrow our government, and he continues to this day to undermine our faith and our own electoral system. More recently, he has openly ignored rulings of the Supreme Court and started arresting judges, solidifying his power and doing all he can to effectively end what we know as the three branches of government. That was the test, folks, and we failed. The United States is no longer a democratic republic. It's a fascist dictatorship. Just wait till the next elections. You'll see. At this point, we should just go ahead and rename it Trumpistan to avoid staining the name of the United States with the coming atrocities of Donald Trump. Click the link in the description below to join our mailing list and to stay up to date on the latest Theocracy news. Thank you and take care.